Hey guys, here to talk a little bit about Pandora, the world of Avatar, which is the new land at Disney World based upon Avatar the movie. And I want to say that I know there's a lot of skepticism about this land, but guess what? It's really, really good. I actually thought it was a great experience there. And I shared the trepidation. I shared the, first of all, I'm not a huge Avatar fan. So I'd shared that if you were one of those people going, I'm not a big fan of this movie. And mixed with that, it's been so long since the movie. So doesn't this feel kind of a random thing at this point? There's sequels they keep promising that haven't opened yet. If you push all that aside, this is a great theme park experience. I'm going to tell you a few reasons why and some of what you'll find there. But kicking it off with, it has one of the best rides I've ever gone on any theme park. I'm a huge theme park fan, huge Disney fan, huge Universal fan, but Flight of Passage, which is kind of the signature ride in Pandora, is amazing. Describing it probably wouldn't sound amazing. I'll just say you're on a bike-like contraption with a screen. It's a movie screen ride, right? That's simulating you flying over Pandora, but the way they do it, the way that the screen is huge, but also very close to you, and the bike-esque thing you're on is basically supposed to be your Banshee, and it moves, pulsates, it feels like it's breathing beneath you, and the mixture of that with really effective movies and effects going on, it really feels like you are soaring through this land, dive bombing down a few times. There's a part where you fly through a wave that I had kind of an involuntary cheer out loud at. It's really, really good. I'm gonna say something very strange about a theme park ride. It emotionally affected me. And I'm not the only one. I talked to other people. You came off it and you kind of feel like, wow, I had an experience. It's like visiting a beautiful place in the world, going to a gorgeous cliffside or something like that. It affected me in a way the movie did not, which is very funny, but true. I went on that ride several times because it was so great. So that ride alone is kind of the selling point, I would say, for the whole land. But let's move on to other stuff. The land looks great. It's not huge, it's not like a giant area, but it's pretty big, and they kind of try to simulate the floating mountains. You can tell they're not really floating, but it still looks pretty cool. The formations that you can kind of see up in the sky. Lots of very beautiful waterfalls, the way they sort of have the Navi cave drawings and paintings along the way. All of that is very cool. But the real selling point here on how it looks is at night, because at night it looks amazing. You know, in the movie they have this sort of bioluminescence thing happening with everything sort of glowing and lit up. So at night they can simulate that if they're using obviously just lighting to do it, but it works so well. So in the bushes, there's, you know, all these sort of trees and bushes that are lit up. The ground is all lit up as you're walking along. It's very trippy. It's you can make a lot of jokes about being at a rave or whatnot because it's all very glowing and interesting, but it looks really cool and very unique as far as the theme park experience goes. So that was a huge sell. The other ride there, the Navi River Journey, it's okay. I don't want to oversell it. It's very chill, again, because you're just kind of floating along. This is the ride that's sort of for the whole family because Flight of Passage might be a little too intense for some. So Navi River Journey, it is, you know, you're floating around. It's mostly animatronics around you, a little bit of film mixed in as well. And it's cool. It looks cool, more of the sort of lit up stuff going on. I felt it was lacking a little bit at the end. I just felt like there needed to be something bigger. There's this shaman at the end, and it's an amazing animatronic. One of the best animatronics I've ever seen on a ride. But it still felt like you wanted something else. Not like a death drop, it's not that kind of ride, but just something else, maybe a little more. But it's still a cool experience overall, again, if you just want to kind of sit back and enjoy the visuals. And then the other parts of any theme park experience, merch and food. Merchandise is fun. There's these banshees you can get that go on your shoulder and you can kind of move them with a little remote in your hand. Those seemed really popular the preview day I was at. I have a feeling they're selling a lot of those now that it's open to the public. And you know, you can make your own avatar, which it doesn't really look like you. But it's a full experience as far as the people making it are very in character. Everyone's in character throughout this whole thing, and so they're not just making you a figure, they're talking about how they're communicating with people on Pandora, they're in Pandora with you, and they never really break character there. So it's, if you're a big Avatar fan, I think that's more if you're a big Avatar fan, you'd want that figure. And the food, I was a little disappointed by this. The one thing I'll say, it did not really deliver to me. They have these sort of, they call them pods, but they're really just bao, like, you know, Chinese bao dumplings. That are stuffed with different things, but they were okay, but they weren't anything to write home about. They had some specialty drinks that were very good and colorful, alcoholic and non-alcoholic. So, but it goes back to Flight of Passage. That's my biggest selling point is how great that ride is, but also just walking around the land. very well done, and I was really impressed. Again, went in there kind of cynical, saying, I don't care about Avatar, guys, and came out saying, actually, now I care about Avatar. I mean, this land made me care about Avatar in a way the movie did not. And suddenly I'm more hopeful that maybe the sequels can deliver something that will engage me more because of what I saw here at the theme park. And also, lastly, I'll say, there's kind of a one-upmanship happening with theme parks ever since Wizarding World of Harry Potter. The idea of the immersion, the idea that you are there and everyone there is kind of part of it and acting like they're a part of the universe. And Avatar, Pandora definitely continues that. All I'll say is it's so well done, I can't wait to see what they're doing with Star Wars. Because I didn't care about Avatar and still thought this was a really, really great experience, well, I care a lot about Star Wars. And so the idea that they've done something so effective with Avatar makes me think, wow, this will probably be amazing. Even, again, going back to how great Flight of Passage is as a ride, I'm thinking, okay, a Millennium Falcon flight simulator, now you're really going to be showing something that people cannot wait to see. So I both loved the experience of Pandora in and of itself, and it also made me very excited for what is coming in the future, mostly with Star Wars. So you can also check out here on IGN my reaction to the new Disneyland Guardians of the Galaxy ride. And for plenty more on all things theme parks and sci-fi, keep it here at IGN.